one of the things I was just thinking about was like, man, like, as much as this was a blur, and I've been in Miami for now going on 6 years, like, time is really fickle. Like, sometimes it feels long, sometimes it feels short, but the fickleness of time doesn't remove this reality that life is too short and eternity is too long. Like, that is our overall reality, that life is short and eternity is long. And life is too short and eternity is too long for certain things to get primary attention and other things to become afterthoughts. Say that again. Life is too short and eternity is too long for certain things to preoccupy us, to get primary attention, and for other things to become afterthoughts. Let me just ramble for a second with some of the things that cannot become afterthoughts when given the reality of the brief or the brevity of life and the extended length of eternity. One thing is where I stand with Jesus. Like that can't be an afterthought. Whether I affirm him as God over all, or whether I say, he was just some man that I disagree with, or he was crazy. Like I just can't not deal with him. Like, I have to engage with him in some authentic, sincere way. Where I stand with Jesus is one of those things that cannot be an afterthought, and that leads you to the point of resurrection. Amen. But if not, at least wrestle. So where I stand with Jesus, it cannot be an afterthought. The next thing, if I may ramble a little bit, the next thing is, like, what was I made to do? Discovering what I was made to do and actually doing it. That cannot be an afterthought. One of my favorite movies of all time is Robin Williams, rest his soul, Dead Poets Society. And in this, he stands on his table and he's encouraging his class, but he makes this statement from, I think it's Henry David Thoreau or Ralph Waldo Emerson, one of those existential thinkers. But what he says is this. He says that most men live lives of quiet desperation, then go to the grave with a song still in their heart. Freak me out. Because it's true. It's essentially, there's this angst and this fear and this suffering and silence where people are afraid to do anything and then they die. It's a tragedy. It's a tragedy. So life is too short. Eternity is way too long to not discover what you were made to do and then actually go in to do it, as opposed to just living some life of quiet desperation and then dying full of regrets. Yeah. The next, if I can continue to ramble, is something that we're actually going to spend the first 6 weeks, 5, maybe 7 of next year, 2020, wrestling with. But life is too short and eternity is too long to harbor bitterness in your heart. Like, it's just not worth it to just live with resentment, bound by somebody else, killing yourself while somebody else is living their life up because you're bitter. It's a waste. Got to learn the language of forgiveness, as hard as that is. And by learning the language of forgiveness, becoming wounded healers, where we are wounded deeply, but we use our hands to heal the world.